Mike Zeroh one
can't handle the truth.
You're a cheat and a swindler. That's what you are. How can you do a thing like this?
I am authorized to assure you these rumors are based on hysteria and are absolutely false. I repeat, these rumors are absolutely false.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining me once again as I take another look into the relentless lies of Mike Zeroh. In my last video, episode 43, I explained how Zeroh will lay down the seeds of specific events that will happen in a TV show or film, only to have those events removed somewhere down the line. He then puts the blame at the feet of the Disney and Lucas heads, and those faceless, nameless board members that also seem to have a great deal of say about how a film or TV show is made. The only reason these things are removed from the productions is because once the show is aired or the film released, you can see for yourself that anything Zeroh said would happen in these productions doesn't. He then tells you that Kennedy or Eyega and those associated with them pulled those precious scenes for one reason or another. The truth is those things were never going to happen as Zeroh described, so he just puts the blame on others to cover his lies. And once that's done, it then becomes fuel for his rage baiting, brought about by a scenario that he created from the very beginning. It was never going to amount to anything. It's also a 2-for-1 deal, because not only can he tell you that things were cut for reasons only known best to him, but then he can use those who are associated with the production, those being the actors and directors, to get mad and angry about redacted scenes, which in turn drives even more anger from his subscribers toward those actors and directors.
One major development has to do with actor Hugh Jackman getting involved in serious drama related to Disney and Bob Eyega wreaking havoc on certain aspects of Deadpool 3. Now, as it turns out, Jackman ran into many heated arguments behind the scenes between both Marvel Studios and Disney after they met financial differences when it comes to his return as Wolverine in the MCU. Now, one serious update of the situation is that Hugh Jackman recently abandoned a total of 4 Marvel-related projects that were planned to use the Wolverine character to sell tickets for Marvel's Phase 7.
This is from a video dated the 5th of March 2024, and like many other videos from Zeroh, it's the start of what will become a running battle over weeks and months between Eyega, board members and Kennedy, depending on who he is talking about and which specific franchise. This all started with Zeroh claiming that there would be scenes of Wolverine fighting in specific wars through time, and these would appear in Deadpool and Wolverine. But as I pointed out before, these scenes need to be deleted from the movie they were never going to be in. So Zeroh needs to make up a fake narrative that will get the job done. In this case, have Jackman walk away from projects unless his scenes are reinstated. Also, please bear in mind that it's only March, and the film won't be out for at least another 4 months.
Now, Jackman, of course, shot down a mega movie deal recently after many arguments took place between himself and Bob Eyega. Essentially, Eyega was drastically lowering the payout for Hugh Jackman and his return in multiple X-Men related Marvel movies, which consists of the main planned X-Men movies and spin-off films. As of now, Jackman took a stand back, of course, and made this decision quickly after Bob Eyega refused to reinstate his scenes that got cut from Deadpool 3, which by the way involved violent scenes throughout World War II and Vietnam to show Wolverine's past.
That last clip was also from the same video dated the 5th of March 2024. Money and the lack of it is another Zeroh trope that makes its way into most videos of this nature. It's the bad people doing bad things to the good people, leaving the good people to be shown as standing up to their oppressors, which always goes down well with Zeroh subscribers. But again, please remember that this is about Jackman walking away from 4 future projects, unless the scenes he filmed are reinstated back into the movie, the scenes that only Zeroh has described as being filmed for the theatrical release. But let's move forward approximately 1 month and 8 days, and hear how Jackman is getting on with his fight with Disney.
One significant update to the entire situation involves how Hugh Jackman recently gave Disney a serious ultimatum revolving around the 3rd Deadpool film and his involvement with Marvel Phase 6 and 7. Already Jackman, his agent and manager, are going up against Disney's usage of DEI and their agenda with the planned reshoots for Deadpool 3 and why he has a problem with it. Already Jackman recently refused to appear in 3 Marvel-related projects, 2 of which were going to be Disney Plus Marvel shows, focusing on mutants, as well as one other film that was going to serve as a Deadpool 3 spin-off, quote-unquote. All of these projects were focusing on DEI over the story and was being pushed by those like Bob Eyega and Kevin Feige. This ultimately led to Jackman reorganizing his plan as an actor with the Marvel Universe and decided to back out of those projects quite rapidly after Disney refused to back off from using DEI elements and aspects in those projects, especially with the Deadpool 3 spin-off film that was mapped out to release sometime by 2027. Now, Jackman essentially put a stake in both Disney and Marvel Studios, since those projects were going to be 100% reliant on the appearance of Wolverine and Hugh Jackman's involvement with the character. Jackman also made this call and this decision of his with his agent and manager after Disney decided to cancel all of his best scenes from the first act of Deadpool 3 2 months ago that involved flashback scenes of him fighting in the Civil War, World War II, and even Vietnam.
So in the space of 1 month and 8 days, Jackman has now turned down 3 projects with Marvel when it was originally 4. These projects were for Phase 6 and now it's Phase 6 and 7, and Zeroh has thrown in yet another trope, and that's all things DEI and the other buzzword he likes to use, and that's agendas. This is all because Eyega wants to remove filmed scenes of Jackman fighting in World War II and Vietnam, which are now World War II, Vietnam, and the Civil War, so even those changed in the space of a month. But there's more, because we now move to a video that came out around 11 to 12 days after the film's release, and Zeroh still needs to gloss over those scenes he said were shot by Jackman, but strangely enough they never appeared in the final cut. Why? Because they were never real to begin with.
It turns out that there were scenes filmed that Hugh Jackman spent months training for that features him fighting throughout the wars of World War I, II, and Vietnam, and was going to be Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy's way of expanding what was briefly seen in X-Men Origins Wolverine opening sequence. Bob Eyega, the Disney CEO, made the final call to never allow these scenes to see the light of day due to the so-called overwhelming violence that, to him and the Disney executives, believed would be too gruesome not just for the theatrical version, but also for the director's cut now, and it won't even be appearing as a deleted scene no longer.
When you speak about factual information, it tends to be grounded and have elements of truth, but when you lie about something, your story tends to be all over the place and isn't consistent, just like this prime example here. First off, it was 4 projects and then that became 3. The scenes filmed were about World War II, Vietnam, and the Civil War. Then the deleted scenes were about World War I, World War II, and Vietnam, with no mention of the Civil War in the last clip I played. It doesn't matter that those clips weren't in the film. It was never about the deleted scenes, but about the drama that can be built on lies. That's why you'll never see them in a director's cut or any DVD release, because it's all fake news. Any video that claims the same scenario will have the same end, just like Daisy Ridley with her deleted scenes, Mark Hamill with his deleted scenes, Harrison Ford and his scenes that were removed in The Dial of Destiny. I could go on and on with examples of the same situation that befalls almost every single show or movie Zeroh lies about, but I think that this will be more than enough for this video. But I will leave you one thing to ponder. If Eyega has a massive cost containment plan, why delete scenes that cost money to make them in the first place? Well, that's all I have for today, so until the next time, take care and I'll see you again soon.
So maybe come up from your mom's basement, okay? And get a real life, you nerd. Yeah, basic.